Hey guys, what's going on? My name is James Mason. I am one of the co-founders for Transparent Traders on Facebook. So this video that you are watching, this is week 2 for my small account challenge. I originally started with $250 and currently I am at $934.08. So you can see from the 18th my progression throughout the week, and at the end of the first week I had $351 and I think 8 cents, I can't remember, or 12 cents. That first week I had a profit increase of the count of 40%. This week it is a increase of 233% for the week, with a total percentage increase of 273%. So let's get into it. So here are, my times and sales. It's my trade history, and you guys can pause this to look at this on your own or whatever. So let's start. I have them all over here. Where they at? Right down here. All right. So the first one, I started this one back last Friday. This was a swing trade in ticker BA. And this one started on 315 at 12:26:49. So I'm Central Time, so 12:26:49. All right, so this candlestick right here is when I entered, and I entered that one. Back up. So right here, this candlestick was when I entered, and see, my expiration for my options was the 22nd of March. I had one put contract. My strike was 362.5. My entry price for that contract was 313, and I exited that trade on 318 at 901.03. So this candlestick right here at 901.03, that's when I left that trade. So looking back on it, this day is when Boeing just had this rip your face off move right here. It had completely spiked for whatever reason. This was almost a $10 gain in that one 5-minute candlestick right here. So you can see up here where it opened at 367.84 and it closed at 375.98. So I watched this play out on the MACD, and I let it start reversing, and I wanted to see where it was going to get running down these Bollinger Band lines. So at this point I felt like this was the peak, and I was pretty right on for that. And with the news with Boeing and everything, I was actually banking on that, but more so on the fact that it had jumped about $10, really for no reason at all. And I tried to play it out the best I could. I originally had a profit or a gain. I originally had a gain for 175, and I ended up letting a little over $100 slip just because I got greedy and I wanted more. So, when it was all said and done in this swing trade, I ended up making a profit of $73. So that is ticker BA. The next one, ticker GS. So this one was a swing trade. I entered this one on 3/18. And I entered at 14:58.29. So this last candlestick. So what I was looking for here on this one, since I'm swing trading, I start and I look on the daily chart. So 3/18. And this one was a call contract, so I wanted to see it go up. And basically what I was looking for here is, how this pushed out atop, the upper Bollinger Band right here. This had actually picked up on my scanner. So it picked up on my scanner, and when I swing trade, I'm not holding these for long. I'm wanting to enter at the end of the day, get my good entry, and set my percentage for how much I want to make in that trade, and sell off the next day. And that's it. So made my entry at the end of the day. Let's go back. And that entry was one call contract, strike 202.5, expiration 29th of March, and I left that trade on 3/19. So you can see where it gapped up on the daily, well, not daily, the 5-minute chart. Yeah, it gapped up and it sold off at 8:30.13. So literally as soon as the market opened. I bought in at 3:12 and I sold at 4:15. And I made a total of $103 profit on that. So the next one is ticker ECPG. So this was a swing trade. I entered this one 3/19, and since I'm swing trading, I want to look at the daily chart first. So this one kicked up on my scanner 3/19. You can see the gap down, and it just completely died off that day. So I was watching this one at the end of the day, the last hour of the day, and let's see, let me back up. So I entered this one on 3/19, 14, 54, 25. So pretty much right here at the end. I was wanting to catch, another green candlestick, and it just was not happening. So I made my entry. I bought 3 put contracts. My strike was 30. And expiration was 18th April. I entered at 140, and I sold the next day. So I sold 320 at 841.37. So right in here, pretty much at the beginning of this candlestick right here, it sold at 178, and it gave me a profit of $114. So the next one was a day trade, ticker AAPL, and this one was on 320. My contracts were, the expiration was the 29th of March. I bought one call. My strike was 187.5, and I bought this one at 13.0157. So this one right here, when I came in, Apple was already up on my monitor right here, and this was when news was released with the FOMC and everything, and I saw it spike. And as soon as I saw it start to spike, I already knew what was up. I just went ahead and took a call position. I just wanted to do a quick scalp, just make a little bit of money, and so I took one call position, strike 187.5. I paid $325. Well, I'm sorry, I paid $299 and I sold at $325 and made a profit of $26, and I left this trade at 13.0649. So I immediately took it in this next candlestick. I was not going to wait around. Yeah, I could have waited it longer and rode it up a lot more. I was just scalping it real quick, and that's just what it is. So I scalped it real quick. I didn't want to wait around, because this one did spike very fast, and I didn't feel like enduring a trade that honestly I didn't find on my scanner. And even though it was just a small profit, it was still profit. So the following one was ticker MU. I actually posted this entire trade already on my YouTube channel. So let me pull it up. This one happened on 3/21. So when I saw this one and I looked at it on the daily chart, it just had a great gap up on the daily chart right here. So when I entered this one, because this one came up on my scanner, and you can look up the video of the entire trade on my channel, I entered this one at 8:35.23. So again, I entered this one at 8:35.23, which was at the beginning of this candlestick right here. This candlestick immediately started turning red, and that's what I was looking for, because I didn't want to buy in with this first candlestick spiking up that high, and I was kind of expecting it to pull back some. I wanted to see if I can get the best entry possible, and honestly I made the best entry that I possibly could have made. And I let this thing pull back. The next candlestick opened up, it started turning red. I wanted to see how much red it was going to do, and it basically touched this Bollinger Band and went back green. As soon as it went back green, I entered my position, which was total of 5 call contracts. My strike was 42.5, expiration the 29th of March, and I paid $98 for it. So $98 per contract, which would be 0.98 on here. That's what it would look like. And I sold at 128 with a total profit of 150. I left this trade at 840.40. So this candlestick right here, 840.40, I left this trade. Now, you may be wondering, why did I not ride this up? I have a certain strategy that works. What I do, I take my entry price. I find the margin for 30%, 25%, and 20%. I'll write them down so I'll know where to sell for all of these. If I see it struggling anywhere, I'll drop it to that lower number and I'll sell off. Now, does it have to even go up to 20%? It does not. So, this is what you have to look for. But with how I use my scanner and what I look for, there's a lot of times that it finds me, these trades, for these percentages. So I automatically I enter 30%, because really there's no other place you can really make 30% profits. And I'm pretty good at making anywhere from 20 to 30% profits pretty consistently. So, I go ahead and I lock in a sell order at 30% in these trades just to have a sell order in, because, it may run up and tap it and sell and then tank after that. I don't know what it's going to do, but I'll have 30% in there, and when I see it to start struggling, that's when I'll start, deciding, do I need to drop this to 25? Do I need to drop this to 20? And I already have my, price ranges to sell at. So I don't have to sit there and think about it. So this one, it popped up, gave me a 30% profit, and I moved on. Obviously, if I would have wanted to hang out in it, whatever, I could have wrote it all the way up for however much a percentage, but it doesn't matter, because when it started dipping right here, if I would have waited it out, it didn't have to stop right here and go back up. This thing could have completely tanked and just dropped and put me into a loss. So instead of chasing these home runs, I prefer to take these base hits, make 30% profit, move on to the next one. I'd rather go trading and not lose than to always try to hit a home run and have strikeouts that cause my overall P&L to be negative. It's not worth it to me. So that is ticker MU. Let me flip pages here. So my last two swing trades were, let's see, ticker CIT. So let me pull it up on the daily chart first. Once again, this came up on my scanner. When I watched this one at the end of the day, obviously it gapped down right here. And then, it had a bad day right here. It was on my scanner, but it turned green. And like I said, downward momentum or upward momentum, when you catch it at the beginning right here, when it comes up on my scanners, it tends to keep moving in that direction for at least a little while longer. So this turned green, so I was able to get a great entry. I bought 6 put contracts. And let's move to the 5-minute. I bought 6 put contracts at 9/12/26. So this one right here, I actually made a bad entry. in terms of I entered it way too early because I wanted to just capture a foothold in this trade. So I entered at 9:12.26, which would have been right here. The reason why I entered this one was because I saw it getting rejected at this point, and this candlestick was red, and then it started going back down, and I was like, okay, great, I made a solid entry. But I did not wait for it, honestly. With the way I trade, I did not wait for it. I jumped the gun too soon because right down here I didn't even have Bollinger Bands. I'm not Bollinger Bands. MACD candlesticks reversing. You know, my Bollinger Bands were just blown out right here, and it's just not how I trade. So I just got too eager to jump into this one, and I did. So I jumped in it, and as you can see, it went up, and I could have jumped up here and just had a phenomenal entry, which actually wouldn't have jumped up there. It would have been more like, honestly, like right in here. And obviously it bounced up a little bit more, and then the following day, which is today, it gapped down and just died. And this one sold off at, so obviously it sold off today, 3:22 at 8:30.20. So literally at the very beginning of the market, it sold off. My strike price was 48. My expiration 18th of April. I paid 112 to enter, and I sold at 146, and that gave me a total profit of $204. And my last swing trade, which pretty much took, or it pretty much sold off about the same time. I entered it 3:21 at, well, I'm sorry, let me back up. This is ticker FITB. So I entered this one on 3:21 at 11:48. So this candlestick right here is when I entered, and when I was watching this thing, I wanted to see if it was going to start dying off at this point and start downtrending. So I'm sitting here, I'm watching the candlesticks in between the Bollinger Bands, I'm watching it on the MACD, and it's starting to reverse on the MACD, and then it kind of goes a little bit up. I was about ready to buy it over here, but it kind of goes back up, and then it got rejected, and I decided to buy right here because it was really thin, and of course it went up, and then at the end of the day it just completely died off. So this one, I only had one put contract in it. I bought a little out of the money on it, and my strike was 25. My expiration the 18th April. I paid to enter this one 45, and I exited at 65 and so I made a $20 profit here. This one sold off for me at, so today, which is 3:22, it sold off for me at 8:30.12. So again, this one right at the beginning of the market sold off, gave me my profits, and I walked away. And I've taken a total of 10 trades. I started on March 11th. You can go back and look at the other video in this playlist. So I started March 11th with $250. I've taken 10 trades, and I am 10 for 10. Every trade has made a profit. My worst trade was ticker KO, which is Coke. I obviously let profits pass up on that one last week, and I ended up taking just like a few dollars in that. So here I am. I've made a total of 273%. And in this account. My first week I made 40%. This week I made an additional 233%. So I hope you guys enjoyed this recap. I hope this kind of shows you what I look for a little bit. And if you want to know how I trade, I say this all the time, look in the playlist section of my channel. My free course is up there. It's literally everything I do. Yes, it's Titan shares, but it doesn't matter. It's a trading style. What I look for there is what I look for here. Options is just the vehicle I drive in the trade. That's it. So learning the style, learning how I use my scanner and what I look for, my setup, that's the key here. So if you don't put in the effort, there's nothing more I can do for you. So, you know, I appreciate you guys taking time to watch this video. And if you haven't yet, please subscribe. Please give me a thumbs up, and I will see you in the next one.